The job of a planner traditionally was about being the voice of the consumer, but actually I think it's really changed now. So yes, your job is to be more in touch with the consumer, the audience that you're trying to reach, than anybody else. You should know them better, understand what makes them tick, what they love, what they hate, how they feel, what their fears are, what their dreams are. But really you have to try and put it together with the brand need, and then also try and think about what the creative idea is. So it's a really interesting way to get creativity and logic into one job.
A core skill we bring is to try and simplify the complex. We're living through a time of tremendous change, where everything is up in the air. Everything that we once thought was certain is now uncertain. Life is becoming much more complicated, and it's the strategist's role to help navigate through that.
Planning will never change, from the sense that our job is to influence people in terms of the way they think, feel, or behave towards brands, and that will always relate to what you say, when you say it to people, who you say it to, where you say it, how you say it, and why you're saying it to people.
An understanding, get ahead of the curve on how things are changing, how communications is changing, how business is changing.
Patience, humour, a sense of, definitely optimism. There's no point in entering this profession if you're a cynical bugger.
Inspired creative thinking, by which I mean some of those great visionary things need to pull you into a whole other lateral area that perhaps the people around you might not have thought of.
I think there's something interesting about having a mind that attunes itself to interesting ways of looking at problems, interesting ways of understanding the world, interesting ways of doing creative work, frankly. But it's being curious enough to keep looking and keep searching for the new and the interesting. It doesn't mean you have to be completely swayed by it, but you have to be open to it.
It's really hard to get into advertising, it is, but it's hard to get into any creative industry. Perseverance is the key.
Read as much as you can, as widely as you can, well beyond business and marketing books.
Just sort of don't give up and find, it's almost like be creative about finding the way in.
You need to be full of hope and faith that better things can be made and created and that you can make huge change.
Don't look at what advertising was in the past. Our business is going through tremendous change. We're in the middle of reinventing what advertising agencies do. So think more about what kind of advice do businesses need in the future. You students today are the future of our discipline, so think from first principles about what an agency should be in 10 years' time and head for that.